Hey guys, Magnus Robert here, bringing you another video, and today we're going to be going through the top, wait no, this shouldn't be top 10, this should be top 5, oops a daisy, I made a mistake, but we're going through the top 5 Mackleberries that they need to add into the Simpsons Tapped Out. So this is another part of my top 5/top 10 insert here, characters that they should add to the Simpsons Tapped Out, also costumes. Yeah, so this one is on the Mackleberries. Going to do which ones they should add. Now in the poll it was a draw, so I just decided to do this one because it's been there for longer. Plus it's just quicker to make. So this is the top 5 Mackleberries. In the Discord though, after you've watched this video, make sure to go to the Discord and vote for the next one. There's going to be 3 different categories. It's going to be top 10 Lisa costumes that I won the game. Top 10 God, what was it? Criminals. And also top 10 animals that aren't Simpsons pets. So, let's get into it. So, I kind of know that all of you guys know that the true number 1 of this list is going to be Barry Mackleberry. And it's a bit of a boring reveal if you ask me, because I'm just going to go through the list and you know what number 1's going to be. It's going to be Barry Mackleberry, and so you can click off the video before I even get to the number 1. So, I've decided that although the true number 1 is Barry Mackleberry, I'm just going to be straight up with you, straight away. Obviously, the one that I want out of all these Mackleberry characters, the one I want the most is obviously Barry Mackleberry. I decided to just be upfront, tell you that, and then do a different top 5 list. So we're doing a top 5 list without Barry Mackleberry. Barry Mackleberry is not included on this list, but he is the true number 1. So let's get into number 5, which is, of course, Sherry and Terry's secret sister. Now, the Simpsons wiki, I mean, I hate to say this, but the one that doesn't have as many admins on it is what I'll say. The less reliable one, I'll say, just because it does have a lot of fan edited things on there. Now, they list this character's name as Kerry. Now, although that's not her real name and someone's just came along and said that's her name, I actually kind of like that. I actually like her being called Kerry. Now, it's not unheard of that Tapped Out will take a character and that they will give them a name. There's a couple good examples of this. Mrs. Frink wasn't Mrs. Frink. Now, the Simpsons wiki had essentially, again, the less moderated one. That one, they kind of assumed that was Mrs. Frink, just because obviously in the episode Grandpa versus Sexual Inadequacy, all the couples were drinking the potion and then having, relations with their spouses, and because Frink drinks that and then goes to bed with that lady, people assumed, oh, that must be Mrs. Frink, but it was never confirmed until Tapped Out came along and actually confirmed it. And there's been a few other examples like this as well in the past, or times where the Tapped Out have just invented a name for them. Another good one is the new character we got, which was in Breakout Bounty, the female, what was she called? The one with the machine gun, Daisy McGunnan. Yeah, that's another time that they've done that. So I'm kind of like open to this now. I think Kerry's a cool name. Just call it Kerry. And this will just be one twin on her own. So you won't have a separate Sherry and Terry. It'll just be one twin on her own. And I think they could do something interesting with this. They could do it as like if they were to do some sort of kid event, they could add her in. If they were to do some sort of, I don't know, I'm trying to think of an event where she would really be added, but it's kind of hard to think of it. But they could add her in and do something, like I said, just do something interesting, do something wacky with her. And yeah, I don't know, I think there's a cool idea there. I think they could do something with it, but it's definitely not the most interesting one in my opinion, so I put her as number 5. Number 4 is Sherry and Terry's twins, which of course she has with Nelson, well, they both have with Nelson, so both of them have twins with Nelson, so Nelson has children with both Sherry and Terry. And obviously I think that they can't really come as their own characters. They'd probably have to come with a future version of Sherry and Terry. So you'd get the twins, but they would come with future Sherry and Terry as well. And they'd walk around the town basically holding both the twins, each of them holding their set of twins. And so that way we technically get a 6-in-1 character, which would be kind of cool. And yeah, that's how I think it should be done. I don't think they should be as separate characters or anything. I just think that would work fine. Just make it be a 6-in-1 character. the two twins walking around with their two sets of twins, and yeah, that will be pretty much it, really. And they could do something interesting with Nelson abandoning them. They could do, I don't know, some sort of quest line. Obviously, a future event would be the perfect time to add this. If they were to ever do like a sci-fi 2 or a future event or something like that, they could throw Sherry and Terry with their twins in. And yeah, it could be kind of interesting. So that's number 4. I put it above Kerry, but not too much but above. There's definitely are better future characters to add for sure. Anyway, number 3 is Larry and Barry. Okay, this is another example of a time where I've just invented some names. Now, in a Treehouse of Horror, we see these two twins sitting, kind of mourning their sister's death, but it's never, like, confirmed what their names are, and also they only appear in a Treehouse of Horror segment, so it's arguable, well, it's very arguable, they're non-canon. They're just a gag. And they don't actually name them, but again, the wiki names them Larry and Jerry, and I kind of hate that. I like the fact that they rhyme, like Sherry and Terry. So I call them Larry and Barry instead. So Larry and Barry, that's what I'm naming them. That way it rhymes just like Sherry and Terry. And yeah, you could make some cool little quests with them. I mean, a Halloween update could be the time to add them. Maybe they're like some form of doppelganger. That could be an interesting thing, actually. Like if they were to do like another doppelganger event, like into the Simpsons verse, maybe these guys become characters and they're like in a different universe. They're the version of Sherry and Terry. That could be kind of cool. But yeah, I don't know. I think there's a potential to add them like that, or into some form of a Treehouse of Horror update, because that's when they appeared. But I don't know. I think the parallels between Sherry and Terry could be quite interesting, so that's the main reason why I would like to see them in the game. Number 2 is Sherry and Terry's grandmother. So she only really appears in the background, really. She doesn't really do very much, but she is like I would argue, an important member of the family, because this is one that I would say probably is canon. Now, Larry and Barry are technically non-canon. This is a future episode, so arguably non-canon, although the future episodes do have consistencies, but they also have inconsistencies. So the future episodes are just non-canon in my opinion. I know, I'm pretty sure they're classed as non-canon as well. And Kerry is like really loose, because although she's only seen once, she is mentioned a few times. Like, they mention having a secret or another sister a few times, so it's like arguable for this one, but I don't know, you could also just put it down to a visual gag. So Sherry and Terry's grandmother is the only character that I would kind of argue, apart from Barry obviously, who is sort of canon, because although she only makes a brief appearance, I mean, even if she's like dead at this point in the show, I think there's no solid reason as to why, to say that, oh no, she doesn't exist. So that's why I'm kind of putting her as number 2. What could they do for her? When could they add her? I think an oldies event is perfect. If they do some sort of oldies event, that would work. Maybe a Mother's Day event they could throw her in there because of Jerry, and they could, tell us that this is either Jerry or Barry's mother. There's plenty of things they could do. I think an oldies event is probably best, and we could get some of the other grandmas that we see throughout that episode where they obviously all come to the school. And yeah, that's number 2. Sherry and Terry's grandmother would be cool together. And then number 1, or obviously the true number 1 is Barry Mackleberry, but the number 1 for this list anyway, can we have that drum roll? Sherry and Terry's cousin. Okay, so this is the only character that I actually think has a little bit of character to it. Now, it's very brief, and it's one episode, but basically she has like a crush on Bart in the episode. I think it's the B plot, technically, right? Yeah, like I said, she's not like a major character or anything, but at least she has screen time, and I think, yeah, she has obviously she has a few lines. So that way, at the very least, she's somewhat prominent. So I think for that reason, she should be the number 1. So Sherry and Terry's cousin. There isn't really anything much interesting else about her. She is generic Bart love interest, although he doesn't really reciprocate the love very much, so yeah, but there you have it. That's my number 1. Mainly just for that reason. Again, a Valentine's Day update would work for her. A kids-themed update would work for her. Those are the 2 that I would like to see her in. I think Valentine's would probably be the best. I actually think they could make a whole event out of like Bart's love interests, like the ones that we haven't got so far. I don't know if there's enough though. Maybe there isn't enough at this point. Trying to think, but there is quite a few still. Even if it's like you could do like loose ones, you know, people who've had crushes on, etc., and people who've crushed on him. So yeah, she could be thrown into there. So anyway, that's pretty much my video. I haven't really got much more else to say, but tell me your thoughts on the top 10 Mackleberries, or sorry, top 5 Mackleberries. Which top 3 do you want to see? And if there's any I missed at all, I don't think so, but maybe there was some pets or something I missed. Let me know. But anyway, thanks for watching. Make sure to head over to the Discord for a vote which one you want to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.